Hey, what's up guys? BoHD here from PhoneDog.com. This is the iPhone 11 Pro, and this phone has been my daily driver ever since it arrived on my doorstep on September 20th. And as we approach the 1 month mark of using this phone every single day, some of the novelties have definitely worn off, but overall, I still really like this phone. So this is most likely going to be the last iPhone with this design that's now over 2 years old, which means that Apple has had a couple of years to refine the design and tweak things to make it the most comfortable, enjoyable iPhone to use. Now, I've been using this phone with a Pitaka mag case since day one, so sadly a lot of the design elements are covered up, but the case is about as thin as a case could possibly get, and there are some elements that definitely stick out around the edges. I think a lot of people will really like the frosted glass on the back. It's pretty slippery, but it looks and feels really good. It's frosted glass, but it feels kind of like aluminum, but unlike aluminum, it supports wireless charging. So it's kind of a win-win in my opinion. Even though, yes, it's going to be much more prone to damage. Also, the fact that the camera module was milled down from one continuous pane of glass is just really cool, but it's not something that you're really going to appreciate more than once. But my favorite thing I gotta say about the iPhone 11 Pro is the size. It's not too big, and it's not too small, but I would say it's definitely on the smaller side as far as smartphones go in 2019. It allows for one-handed usability that makes it so much easier to pull up directions or send a quick text when my other hand is busy. It's funny, I used to be all about big smartphone displays, but now I'm starting to gravitate towards the smaller phones for this reason, for one-handed usability. It's definitely, I would say, the best option for those who feel the same way, and it's one of the only phones small enough to use comfortably with one hand these days. The iPhone 11 Pro Max is massive, definitely a two-hander. Meanwhile, the standard iPhone 11 is a bit wider, so it's not quite as good, but I think you could make the argument that that phone is the perfect sweet spot. It's just really gonna depend on what you like, how big your hands are, etc. But speaking of which, if you haven't seen my iPhone 11 review, I recommend you do so as I go into more detail with the cameras and some of the missing features, which are few and far between. The iPhone 11 Pro basically gets you an extra camera lens, higher quality display, and that slightly smaller design profile I just was talking about, with slightly thinner bezels and more shine. It radiates, I would say, more of a sense of wealth than the iPhone 11, but the iPhone 11 still a really darn good phone, probably the best iPhone for most people this year. The telephoto sensor that accompanies the main camera sensor and the ultra-wide sensor can be nice for those rare instances where you go and you want to capture a photo of a subject that's really far away. And the quality is going to be pretty similar to that of the main camera sensor, which has been deemed the best mobile camera sensor on the market. But as for whether or not it's worth an extra $300 is totally up to you, but I'd say probably not. What may actually be more worthwhile is the OLED display, which is not found in the iPhone 11. It packs a higher 2436 by 1125 resolution that will produce a noticeably more vibrant picture than the LCD display found in the iPhone 11. It's also been tweaked to get way brighter than previous iPhones, so outdoor visibility should be better. And as someone who just bought a big OLED TV, it seems kind of silly for me to opt for the iPhone 11 because I want OLED on all the things. But I think most people will probably find that the iPhone 11's display is plenty fine because it really is. It's still a very good panel. And yeah, if you held both phones side by side, you'll probably notice that the iPhone 11 Pro's display looks sharper, more detailed, etc. But you're probably gonna stop noticing those things after a couple days or a couple weeks using the phone as your daily driver. Those novelties kind of just wear off. So the iPhone 11 Pro features the more premium design of the new iPhones released this year and the superior display and camera setup, but that's really where its exclusive features end. The A13 Bionic chip is incredibly fast, and iOS 13.1.2 fixes a lot of the bugs that made the experience not so good on day one. And actually iOS 13.2 is right around the corner, bringing this new Deep Fusion camera mode that improves image quality substantially. So the so-called best mobile camera will get even better any day now. Battery life has been pretty darn solid too. I've been getting an average of about 3 hours of screen on time before going to bed, but I've also had an average of about 50% of battery life remaining. So battery life once again, is surprisingly good. And worth noting, every night that I've been using this phone, I've been using wireless charging, and it's been working great. The phone does come bundled with an 18-watt wall adapter in the box that does support fast wired charging, but I have yet to really need it. I just use wireless charging. It's been working well. So 1 month later, and I think the iPhone 11 Pro is without a doubt one of the best smartphones of the year, even though I was expecting more of a design change and more features like USB-C support, no notch, 5G support, reverse wireless charging, and even a 90 Hz refresh rate. But sadly, Apple went with a more conservative refresh this year, which still makes for a great phone, but I think it could have been even better. But that also means that we could expect those features in next year's iPhone 12 or whatever they decide to call it. 2020 is actually supposed to be the year with the big iPhone refresh, so I would actually suggest holding off on upgrading to the iPhone 11 Pro unless you're in dire need of a new phone or you're coming from an iPhone that's older than the iPhone 10. Yeah, the iPhone 11 Pro would be a great phone, but it's expected to be the last of its kind, so next year's flagship iPhone will make it look fairly outdated. And it's not just going to be outdated in the design department. The iPhone 12 or whatever they call it is rumored to feature a whole new port. So the Lightning port, which has been around for years, is going to go bye-bye, which will make the current phones, your older phones, look even older than they already are. So definitely keep that in mind. Those are my thoughts on the iPhone 11 Pro. I'm curious to hear yours in a comment down below. Don't forget, you can watch my iPhone 11 review. I'll place a link in the description for you to check it out. With that said, I'm BoHD from PhoneDoug.com. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.